What up, guys? It's your brother Joe here, and welcome to my team career mode. We are here at round 3 of season 2. It's the Vietnamese Grand Prix or the Vietnam Grand Prix, one of the two. And after a solid result in Bahrain, I am after chasing that up with another great result. If you haven't seen the Bahrain edition yet, please go back and check that out. And then come back and watch this one, or watch it after you've watched this one. Either order's good, I don't care. Right, we are in qualifying and we are trying to make our way once again through Q1, which we have done quite nicely there. I do feel like towards the end though we probably should do another lap just to ensure that we get through. We are in 15th and I think that is going to be enough to see us through. We are up to 11th. That's us in nicely. And once again, we're trying to make it into the top 10. And we've got a good lap underway here. But I don't think it's going to be quite enough to make the top 10. But we're going to push hard anyway. And we have got a wet race in front of us. So that could make things a bit more interesting. And we have nailed Sector 3 here. I am proud of this. I have absolutely nailed it. Coming up to the last couple of corners then, where can I put this Arrows car? Are we going to make the top 10? We're just about in 10th for now, but as the session comes to a close, we are just knocked out by Carlos Sainz there. But we're still starting P11 for the race. Anything can happen. I am excited for this one.
The Formula One circus has arrived in Southeast Asia once more, as we usher in a new era and get ready to go racing here in Vietnam. A lap of Hanoi circuit then, 3.4 miles around the Vietnamese capital, 23 corners and a wet circuit today that will challenge our drivers in each and every one of those turns, as the close barriers loom invitingly on the outside. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Why don't we begin by discussing Alexander Albon? As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The fence starts from pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Charles Leclerc and Vettel, Ocon, Sainz, Norris and Oldtimer, Kvyat, Gasly, Lance Stroll and Albon, Perez, Giovinazzi, Antoine Hubert and Kimi Raikkonen, Magnussen, Grosjean, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
It is very damp here at Vietnam, but we are on the grid. We're starting 10th due to a penalty in front of us. It's lights out and away we go on a very slippery grid. I can barely see a thing as we head into the first corner. I'm trying to take the inside line. It hasn't quite worked as well as what it did in Season 1 when I was able to get up to 4th at the start, which was quite incredible. But we're still running within the top 10. And actually we are holding on to 9th there. Norris is right behind me and sort of alongside, but I'm not allowing that one. Ooh, that's a little bit of a cheeky track extension there. And my God, I cannot see anything down the straight. Behind the AI, Norris has clipped me there. I don't know. I don't think I gave him enough space. I wasn't quite aware he was alongside. I can barely see anything in this weather. And I didn't quite realise the momentum he had. We're going to go down the inside of Carlos there. That's going to be P8. But we are going to be a sitting duck on this straight. Because the AI are going to just slipstream me, I feel. But actually, they're not. They don't appear to be doing that so far. We seem to be hanging on to 8th, right behind Vettel. And in fact, maybe, just maybe, if we brake late enough here, we can have a look for 7th. It's not quite worked out that way, though. Vettel blocking the corner, but on the exit, We seem to have a better exit. Now we're going to get alongside him here. Try and take the outside. No, that's not worked. We're going to switch to the inside. And that is P7. We have got ahead of Sebastian Vettel. And that is the move done. We are looking good for this race. Next up is Ocon. But unfortunately, Ocon just pulling away from us at this point. And I'm starting to struggle a little bit in these conditions around here. I'm just not liking the conditions at all. And I'm just trying with all my worth to not lose too much time to those ahead of me. And Vettel still right behind me, not really letting me get away at all. In fact, he is staying right there with me. Sainz has dropped back a little bit from me, but he's still right with Vettel. So, for now, Sainz not the big worry. The big worry is Sebastian Vettel. Is he's going to try up the inside here. I'm going to cover him, though. Is he going to try again? Yes, he is. I've given him space, and he's just not made it. We've braked that a little bit later. In fact, I braked so late that I outbraked myself. Gone a little bit deep into the corner, but that's okay. We get away with that one for now. And this long corner that just goes on forever before we get onto the straight with Vettel now right behind me. And Vettel really is in my gearbox at this point. Is he going to take a look up the inside? It's Vettel and Sainz into the hairpin all over again. Shades of season 1. Who do I cover? I go to cover Sainz, and Vettel's just having a look in the inside, but he hasn't quite got it done because we've held the outside line and we've held the position quite nicely, and Magnussen in the meantime is just off for a spin. So that's unfortunate for K-Mag there because he was looking quite nice up to that point. We're in 7th still though, and we've got Carlos Sainz who's got ahead of Vettel. Now getting ready to have a look. He's now looking on my outside. We cover the inside, and that should be covered because we've got the inside line. Sainz is not giving up on this one easy at all, though. Carlos is hungry for that one. He's hungry to hold on to it, and that is what he is doing at the time being. But we're now coming back onto the straight, and Sainz still within 6 tenths of me. Make that 5 tenths. He's really gained a lot through that section, but there's a yellow flag involved, and I think Sainz has just dropped out the race. And yeah, I believe he has, as we look for him slowing down, coming to a complete halt. That is so unfortunate for Carlos there, who was looking at having a really good race. He was mixing it up with me then, and I take this opportunity to make my pit stop because unfortunately I haven't made my intermediates last quite as well as I would have hoped, and the worry is there now that the AI will pit for dries before they pit for a second set of inters. So the strategy here not doing me many favours at all. It all depends on what I can do from here. We're in P17, and I'm going to have a quick look at Checo Perez for 16th. And oh, we're going to get the move done. Yes, we are having a look. No, we're not. We made contact with Perez. We've tagged his rear wheel. And Perez just going sideways because of that contact. And we are now up into 16th place. I never thought I'd be making a move that aggressive for P16. How far we have fallen after the result of Bahrain. Now next up is Kimi Räikkönen for 15th. And there's no sign at the moment of an Austin-esque miracle that can save us here, so we've got to do this ourselves. We've got to have a look at Räikkönen, and the circuit is starting to dry up. It is getting drier by the lap, and we're watching me now taking that move on Räikkönen, and that was just a beautiful dive up the inside there of the second to last corner. No quarter asked, none given, as we now head on to the halfway point of this race, trying to get after Giovinazzi and Hubert in 13th. And I just want to take a moment to say, you know, on the 1 year anniversary of his death, that I miss seeing Hubert race. He really was one of the biggest legends in the making. He won his home race in F2. And I just want to take this moment to obviously give commiserations to his family 1 year on. We're still thinking of you, and I think you would have been one of the greats. Meanwhile, while I was saying that, Antoine, as my teammate, held me up in the pits as we changed to dry tyres, and the AI did stick it out on inters, so I am now ruining that decision to pit. That has hurt me badly, as has being held up in the pits, and now we're down to P14 but I am on mediums, and I'm hoping that I can take this tyre all the way through to the end of the race. So here's hoping that we can do that and maybe gain a few more positions. A lot of the cars in front of me are on softs, which is a surprising decision. I would have thought the AI would switch to mediums and try and go to the end of the race from there. Apparently not. And what we do have is a very fast Kimi Räikkönen sending one down my inside. I'm going to have to hold the line here and hope that it's not enough for him to get through. And I'm holding out around the outside quite desperately there. I didn't think I'd have to be fighting this hard to keep an Alfa Romeo behind me, but that is what's happening. And now I'm having to push even harder to try and catch Kvyat, who is getting away from me. But they're all on soft, so my only hope is that they all have to stop one more time and I can capitalise on it and maybe move myself into the points. It's not been the best race so far. In fact, quite the opposite. But we're going to still do our best and maybe... Do I spot a yellow flag? Is someone about to drop out of the race? Yes, there is a yellow flag. Come on, safety car. Safety car. Please give me a safety car. That's Lance Stroll grinding to a halt, I believe. No, it's Perez, sorry. That's Checo Perez, who I had contact with earlier, you'll remember. And no, it's Stroll, sorry. Stroll is out of the race. And that is a safety car deployed. Now, what will the AI do? I assume the AI will pit under the safety car. They haven't pitted under the safety car. They haven't pitted under the safety car at all. What are they doing? Why didn't they... I don't understand that, because a lot of the AI that are on softs, they have just ruined their race if they are pitting again. And this is going to come into a strong advantage for me. We're about to go racing again here at Vietnam. We have 5 laps left. Are the AI going to pit, or are they all staying out till the end? Who knows at this point? Green flag. We are underway again. P13 at the moment. P13 at the moment, sorry. Right behind Kvyat. If they're not pitting, can we gain maybe 1 or 2 positions before the end of the race? This is going to be an interesting one. We're trying to keep up with Kvyat at this point. It's not proving easy as we go through the first few corners. And we just don't have the momentum on the straight at all. I'm using everything at my disposal. But here we go, look. All of the AI in the pits. And this is going to work out brilliantly for me. I can't believe what I'm quite seeing here. I don't know why they didn't put under the safety car. But because of that, we are now in the lead of the Vietnam Grand Prix. A race I didn't even look like getting points in, I might add. And here we are, leading it. That is extraordinary scenes. And obviously, where a lot of the AI would have got held up in the pits, and the Arrows pit is right at the end, Antoine Hubert, our teammate, is now up into 4th place. And he is going to be challenging Giovinazzi. Could we get 2 Arrows on the podium? The only drawback here is Max Verstappen is coming for me at a vast rate of knots. And yes, Antoine has made it up to 3rd. We are going to get 2 Arrows on the podium. Extraordinary scenes here. You wouldn't believe it, but what positions are the front 2 going to be in? Because Max is charging at me. And the last thing you want charging at you, especially at the closing stages, is Max Verstappen hungry for a victory. He is the last driver I want up my chuff. And seeing that fastest lap doesn't help either. I'm not going to lie. This last lap is making me wish I'd worn the brown pants. It's making me wish I even had brown pants, to be honest. In fact, I'm going to go to Asda and buy some more because of that. Ricciardo sets the fastest lap now. And as we come through the last lap and into the last sector, look how close Verstappen is. It's going to take one mistake from me. And then that'll be it. That'll be race over. And Verstappen will take the win. So I'm having to nail this sector. I've gone a little bit deep there. Is Max going to have a look? He's trying to look around the outside, but I've shut that off. We're now coming into the last couple of corners. Just 2 corners to go. And I think we've got this one covered, lads. It's going to be win number 2 of my team career mode. The first of season 2. Get in! Race win.
Fantastic.
And what a start to the season this has been. A 2nd and a 1st in the first 3 races. and my teammate gets driver of the day. I couldn't be prouder.
You can't fault the performance on the track today. A well-deserved victory. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, when you overtake that many people, I'd certainly hope you'd win the race. Their car was really effective in the slipstream here today, and the team will be pleased that they didn't cook the engine, given how long they were spending in the hot air behind other cars. They had a lot of confidence to push their tyres hard as well, especially going into the corners, which allowed for some late braking and some exciting passes.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
Well, you know what? That was something special, wasn't it? And you know what? I'll dedicate that one in honour of Antoine, who, like I said, we sadly lost a year ago. And there he is, 3rd place in my career mode, doing me proud as my teammate. We've got a 1-3 for the team. Verstappen gets 2nd. Then it's Leclerc, Albon, Giovinazzi, Hamilton, Kvyat, Ricciardo, and Perez. I didn't even think we'd get points in that race. It just didn't look like at any point we'd have points in that race after the first stop, but then the AI just lost their minds and didn't put under the safety car. Not sure what happened there. We're now 5 points off the lead in the standings. Right, I am going to leave you with the highlights reel. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, hit the subscribe button for more career mode, and I will see you again soon in the next video. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.